Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to whoever you are, wherever you are, whenever you are. I got to see Mortal Kombat 2. And I had this one question. And the one question was, did Johnny Cage have the mark? Because in the first film, you had to have the mark in order to fight in the tournament. It was like a dragon mark. So my question was, did Johnny Cage have the mark? If so, how did he get it? If he did not have the mark and he was picked because of desperate times and measures, that sort of thing. So my question was answered with that. No, I'm not going to say if it was a yes or a no, because I know a lot of people hate it when movies are spoiled. So I'm not going to risk that, even though you guys are watching this video and I'm talking about it. This was better than the first one. And if you were to watch it, you could tell right off the bat that the budget was a lot better this time. They had more of a budget to it because the first film was only released on streaming. It was not released in theaters due to COVID restrictions. This time, now that the restrictions have been lifted and things are a little bit better now, it was released to theaters. It was released on Friday. I got to see it on Saturday. And from what I just looked up, they made their budget back, which was like 80 million or something like that. But yeah, so they made their budget back. It's not doing too well. Well, so far from what I read, it's not doing too well globally, but it's doing very well domestically. But we'll see what happens. Things like that often happen like that. But yeah, it was a lot better than the first. You had more of a storyline to it. It was good. You got to see some of the signature fatalities if you played the game. So yeah, that was pretty cool. The costumes and the choreography were very good. The choreography most definitely was well done. Johnny Cage has his he has his personality, his sense of humor, so that's not gonna go. The gentleman who played Johnny Cage, Carl Urban, who was in Doom, the 2005 movie adaptation of Doom, starring Dwayne Johnson, also known as The Rock. Carl Urban was also in The Pathfinder. I believe that was his. Well, he's done other leading roles, but I believe that was his start to getting into the American audiences. I could absolutely be wrong. I know he was in Xena, but I don't remember because I was a 90s baby and I was rather young. He was also in Ghost Ship. He's done a lot of movies before, but now he's made sure that he can be a leading man. He's also in The Boys. So if you guys watch Amazon, if you guys have Amazon Prime Video and you watch The Boys, he plays Butch. And in that one, he's doing his native accent, which he happens to be a New Zealander. And so does Anthony Starr, who plays Homelander. He is also a New Zealander. So, but he's doing an American accent. And Butch, Carl Urban, is doing his native accent. He's a New Zealander. Well, they both are. The fact that they're called Kiwis is crazy. It's like, why? And then I realized, it's the kiwi bird, because the kiwi bird is from New Zealand, and every time I think of the kiwi bird, I think of the kiwi bird stealing Tito's Vegemite, and Rocket Power, they go to New Zealand. So I would always remember that. And the reason, if I remember correctly, the reason why the fruit, the kiwi, was named after the kiwi bird was because of the peel, which the peel had like almost the same feel as the feathers of the kiwi bird. And I guess it just so happened, I could be wrong about this, but it also happened that the kiwi itself is about the same size as the kiwi bird. I can't have kiwi because I'm allergic. I can't have kiwi. That sucks. I remember having a kiwi for the first time ever, eating it and everything. And unfortunately, I found out I'm allergic to kiwi. My lips were swollen and I had a very itchy throat, and it would, like every time I tried to swallow, it would kind of hurt to swallow. Luckily, it didn't lead me to the hospital, but it was like, yeah, I think I'm allergic. Even my mom was like, what's wrong with your lips? And I said, they sting and burn. My mom was like, what did you eat? What, did you eat something? I said, yeah, I ate the kiwi. That hurt. She's like, okay, you're allergic to kiwi, sweetie. You can't have kiwi no more. No. And it sucks because apparently I picked a very sweet kiwi. So my mom has not eaten kiwi in a while. Well, if she does eat kiwi, she can't eat it around me because, you know, when you're allergic to stuff, like, for example, people who are allergic to peanuts, and let's say, although they're not in the room when you ate something that was peanut, you have to wipe down the table. You have to wash your hands. You know, you have to be very careful when you're around people who have an allergen because they can get sick. Even though they're not eating it, if you were to come in contact with them, touch them, they can get an allergic reaction with them. So that's why, and I don't know if they do it anymore in schools, but I do remember there was a place where only people who had peanut allergies can sit there. And if you didn't have a peanut allergy, you were not allowed to sit there. But you didn't have anything that was peanut butter. But you weren't allowed to sit there. So if your friend was sitting there, you were not allowed to sit with them. Which was like, I mean, I get it, but it's just like, damn, you're just isolating these people. Oh my God, and letting them kind of singling them out. Come on now, there's ways to do it. But yeah, this was back then before we had portable EpiPens, or like, now we have a nasal that helps with allergies, to help counteract anaphylactic shock. We also have one where it's a pill. So if they get in contact with something that that can hurt them, their immune system is still able to fight it off. So it just gives it a boost to prevent an anaphylactic shock. But anyway. So back to Mortal Kombat review. Like I said, it was really good. More of a story. Whoever did the choreography and did the choreography for Carl Urban, because Johnny Cage is completely human, and like in the trailer, he does not have powers, which obviously when he does his fighting, he doesn't have his powers. I'm not going to say whether he does get his powers or not. Either or, he's a good fighter. And yeah, he's a good fighter. And whoever did the choreography for him, it was nicely done. It is true there are characters that do come back, because if you watch the trailers, there are a few characters that do come back. Kano is back, but I'm not going to say what his intentions are. I don't know his name, but the gentleman, the one that had the hat, that had the razors, he would go, flawless victory, and was like a close friend and brother in arms with Liu Kang. He does come back. And no, that's not a spoiler, because if you watch the trailer, he does come back. So obviously, it's not a spoiler. So yeah. Okay, so he does come back. Kano comes back. We do see Katana. We do see Jade. They're all in the trailer. Look it up. So, yeah. Basically, this is their last battle. If they lose one more round, Earth is gone. There's a really, really cool fight scene that does involve Johnny Cage. I'm not going to say anything, but it was awesome. And kind of humorous too. Like, I knew something was going to happen. I'm like, watch this, and this happen. Yeah. Some of the fatalities, I will say, were kind of predictable, because there is a fight scene that Sonya is in. Now, I'm not going to say who she fights, But it was just like, oh, yeah, okay, it's obvious this is what's going to happen. There we go. And exactly, it did happen. There was another character, I'm not going to say who it is, but I was thinking, yeah, this character is going to blah, 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 blah. And I was right about that. But yeah, so, yeah, this one was a heck of a lot better than the first one. The budget was a lot more bigger this time, which you can tell right off the bat. Yeah, the fight scenes were more better. It had more of a storyline to it. There's a lot of key differences. I'm not going to say what they were. But of course, when you watch this movie, you're going to know automatically, oh, they're not doing this, this, and this. They're not doing that. Or they're doing this. They're not doing this. So there's a lot of, like I said, when you watch the movie, you can tell right off the bat what road they're taking this in and how they're going to do so. And yeah, it's a lot better. I think it is. So I did enjoy it. I had heard that a third one is in production. I don't know if that's the case. But yeah, I can't wait. If there is a third one, I can only imagine what that's going to be. I think we are going to officially have the main villain. And I think I know who's going to be the main villain of that one. Excuse me. So let me reword that. I think I'm going to have I think I know who's going to be the main villain in the third one. I don't know if that's going to happen. But I think this character is going to have more screen time. So yeah. And I think with them, they're going to have more of a, how can I say, more hunger. This character does appear in the second film. And in this film, it does appear in this film. And there are times with this character shows their true colors at times. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say who it is. I'm not going to say what they plan. When you watch it, when you see it, you will know. It's pretty obvious. You can't miss it. And if you do miss it, that's okay. There's always a third one. But yes. So yeah. Yeah, Johnny Cage. And they did it very well. They didn't just like, oh, we're just going to put him in. No, they bring him in a manner where it's kind of like you kind of have to. Like, it was almost like the Avengers. So in the Avengers, the whole thing was to get Thanos into Endgame. The question was, how did Thor get with the Guardians of the Galaxy? Gamora would never be near Thanos. There's no way. How is Doctor Strange going to cross paths with Thanos when he doesn't know who Thanos is? Well, simple questions. Thor and Hulk. Bruce Banner. After the events of the third movie of Thor, Hulk gets transported to the fortress, whatever it was called. The Fortress of Magic or something like that. And that's where he meets Wong and Doctor Strange. And Stephen Strange. And they're like, who are you? And Banner tells them everything. So that's when Strange kind of gets recruited into it. Now, how did the Guardians of the Galaxy get recruited into it? Well, after the demise of Asgard, Thor somehow gets into the path of Guardians of the Guardians because they were answering a distress call which came from Asgard. Or wherever Thor was. He was on some planet. I can't remember what it was because they had to get Hela, their older sister, off Asgard. It was something like that. It's been a while. But he crosses through their path and they rescue him. And he goes, I have to go to nowhere because I no longer have Mjolnir, which was his hammer. I have to get a new hammer because there's Dorf that was in Norse mythology who is the weapon maker. Sort of like how Hermes in Greek mythology is the weapon maker, the blacksmith. This giant dwarf is the same thing. I don't know his name. All I know is played by Peter Dinklage. And both Rocket and Groot go with Thor and accompany him. While Gamora, Quill, and Drax, and I believe Mantis, they all go to where the Collector was because they had the infinity of reality was there. Well, Earth had the Time Stone. And Thanos he already just retrieved the Tesseract, or the stone that was in the Tesseract. I think that was space. And then Vision had what was it? He had a time stone. I don't remember what his time stone was. He had the Mind Stone. So, Vision had the Mind Stone that was also on Earth. Strange had the Time Stone. And then Gamora was trying to get the Reality Stone. And I think the Tesseract was space. The stone that was in the Tesseract was in Vision. There we go. Yeah, there's so many. Soul was Gamora's sacrifice. And then you had... Was it 6 stones? Golly, I can never... You had time, reality, mind, soul, space... F it. You guys know where I'm going. Screw that. I'm not getting a migraine over because of it. Screw it. Anyway. Yes, I was talking about Mortal Kombat 2 and the Avengers. Yes. So sue me. I don't care. Anyway, basically the whole idea was how were they going to bring Johnny Cage in, and they brought Johnny Cage in. Basically, during the time he goes through this journey, and there you is. That's all you're gonna get from me, because I might as well just say what I saw when I saw it. But if I do that, I'm gonna be catching hell. I ain't got time to be catching hell over nothing. Yes. So if you guys are interested, if you guys are video game enthusiasts and you want to see how this story goes, go for it. You won't be disappointed. It's really good. A lot better than the first because there's more of a storyline. The pacing and the execution is a lot better. Their budget is obviously a lot bigger, so they were able to do more. And this is in theaters, not streaming. And you get to see some familiar faces. And you get to see some new faces. And yeah, there's a lot of humor in it. Especially, like I said, Johnny Cage has a lot of his sense of humor. So I think you guys will like it. Yeah, so go check it out. It just got released on Friday. So yeah, go for it. I thought it was really good. A heck of a lot better. Better than The Bride. Better than the first one. Heck of a lot better than Nosferatu. I'm still... Yeah. I don't like it. So, yeah. You guys check it out. I highly recommend it. I like it. 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. Yep. 9 out of 10. So, yeah. Go ahead and watch it. Bye.